going, troops? Oh, here we are. Finally got a day off. 10 days in a row. 8 of them were night shifts, so bit cream crackered. Out of that 3 hours kip. So I'm out here for an afternoon evening session. It's sweltering hot. Blue skies. There is some cloud. Thunderstorms are forecast for the afternoon, so who knows, I might get wet. The water's up, running off. Got a bit of weed in it. I'll show you the swim now, and then we'll see if we can catch some roach, rudd, bream. I'm not hunting anything specific, just general course fishing. I've started on a float. The plan was to fish with a feeder on the far bank today, target some bream, but as I say, it's running off and there's a load of weed on the far bank. You'll see when I show you the swim. So got to be adaptable, so I've switched tactics. I'm going to fish the marginal shelf and see how that goes for a little while. If not, I can always get a pole out and fish close to the far bank where that weed's running off, or I can feed a, you know, there's a whole load of options and ideas you can deploy on a drain like this. So we get cracking. I mean, it's only 15 metres across, so it's not huge. It's about 6 inches up on what it normally is, due to the one shower we had yesterday. Didn't have a lot of rain, so we're still in scorching summer. No rain to speak of, like I say, but it's running off nicely. It doesn't produce when it runs off for me. I find it's better when it's just finished running off and it comes to a very slow standstill. That tends to bring them out better. But if you get them feeding when it's running off, they do get their heads down. But you know, we'll see. It's like any fishing. You know, you get your tactics right. If you're amongst the fish, you're going to catch. So positive vibes. You know, fingers crossed. We're going to attack it this afternoon and this evening, and let's see what the day brings. Well, here's the swim. You've seen it before. My plan today was to do some feeder fishing on the far bank. As you can see, a little bit of rain we've had. We didn't have a lot of rain yesterday, but this drains off all the excess water from all the fields for miles around this drain, so it's running off at the moment. It's 6 or 7 inches higher than it was last time I fished the swim. So my far bank feeder tactics have gone out the window. What I'm going to be doing is my normal margin fishing here, slightly over depth. Not strep pegging, but a similar type of fishing to strep pegging, and I'll stick out for a little while. I've got options. I can always go on a drop. The far bank weed thins out a bit, or it stops running off, I may be able to the plans are not set in stone. You know, if it stops running off or the weed thins out a bit on that far bank, I can always set up a feeder rod and start leisuring. But at the moment I'm going to fish marginal shelf, single grain of corn, size 14 barbless hook as always. I've got £4 main line, £2.5 bottom, and we'll see what the afternoon brings. Only an afternoon evening session. Just finished 8 nights on the bounce, so I'm a bit cream crackered. Had about 3 hours sleep and then I was straight out onto the bank. It's my only day off. It's quite hot. There are thunderstorms forecast for the afternoon. but at the moment it's sweltering. So this is a Lincolnshire drain, free fishing. All you need is your Environment Agency rod licence. Match fishing rights are controlled by Boston and District Angling. You don't get many matches up here anymore. So let's see what the afternoon brings. One of the most useful bits of kit on any running water for me is the bait dropper. There they are, quite simple. You fill the compartment up with bait. That goes on there like that. It drops down to the bottom of the riverbed or drain in this case, and all the bait comes out. It is that simple. Attach it with your running line hook onto the back. That way, if there's any little fry out, they don't nick all your bait before it gets to the bottom. And we're going to stick a little bit out there. I think the old dreaded rain is starting to arrive. It's supposed to be thunderstorms this afternoon. It's getting quite muggy, quite heavy feeling. Got the brolly up. Been fishing about an hour, hour and a half. Had nothing on the bottom. Had a little cast around on the drop to see if there's anything around. Had a little nibble from a rudd, but that's about it. See if the cooler, wetter conditions instigate the feeding spell. As you can see there, brolly's up. It's not a heavy downpour at the moment, but I'm expecting it. It feels like it, you know. There's a lot of gunk coming down. My word of the day, gunk. There's a lot of that coming down at the moment. I'll spin it around in a minute to show you. Diabolical. Where all this has come from, I don't know. A little bit of rain yesterday. It's got all the floating weed on the move. As they're running the drain off, it's all coming downstream. So yeah, nothing at the moment. Now I've got to set my stall out. Do I fish for bites and just bag up, try and bag up on little stuff? Or do I take the specimen approach? Now I know for a fact if I fish really delicate with like chopped worm, pinky, red maggots, something like that, I'd catch plenty. Little perch, little rudd, you know, gudgeon along here, small rudd, roach, skimmers, they're all there. They'll all take the bait, but I'm going to go specimen road. I'm going to set my stall out for decent roach, decent rudd, over the pan mark hopefully. Oh, look at all this lot coming down out. Hang on, have a word. Let's have a look at this lot. Look at this lot coming down now. That's why on a natural venue like this, your plans have always got to be fluid. That makes decent indication, decent presentation, nigh on impossible on a natural venue. The float's getting dragged under now, so obviously got weed on the line. Have to get that in, reposition it. Yeah, it's coming down there. A ton of it. Don't know what I'm going to do. Might even have to reel in. Try and fish the margin as close to the margin as I can. It don't look good at the moment. Gotta love a natural venue. Now we know where all the weed's coming from. Well, we've had 2.5 to 3 hours of total carnage. It ain't the guy in the weed boat's fault. He was coming down, he's seen the tip of my rod, so he's gone out to the far bank to avoid me. Of course, the wake of his boat has pushed everything that was going down the far bank into my bank. So really, for the last, say, 2 hours, it's been pouring down with rain, and I'd say I've been fishing, had my bait in the water about 10 minutes in every half an hour, just trying to avoid the big clumps of weed going through the swim. It's cleared up now, the rain's stopped, it's spitting a little bit, but we'll endeavour to catch a few in the evening now. The afternoon was a write-off. I wondered where all the weed was coming from, and then all of a sudden I heard the weed boat, and he's obviously darted over to the far bank to avoid me, and sent every clump of weed in the vicinity straight into this bank. When the rain started, the wind was swirling, so basically the weed's been moving around the swim for the last 2.5 hours, 3 hours, so it's fishable now. Let's see if we can catch something, eh? Give me another tale of woe. But I'm not going to get down. I mean, last couple of videos I've been moaning like Billy-O. You just got to take it for what it is. You know, it's a natural venue. You've got to battle the elements, weed, boats, whatever may come, whatever it throws at you. You got to try and get around it, get over it, and catch fish. So that's what I'm going to do. Sometimes you just got to admit defeat. The conditions weren't the best, and ever since that weed cutting boat went through, that was it. Whole swim, whole stretch destroyed. Still, better sitting on your backside at home all afternoon. This is what I've got to put up with now. It's coming through the swim. Steady pace. Sometimes you've got to cut your losses. Thanks for watching, but the conditions were atrocious. You know, when that weed boat went through, should have upped sticks and changed drains, really. That's what I should have done. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but yeah, you know, it's destroyed it. And I could sit here for the last hour, but I've got no guarantee of how long I'll be out of a bait in the water. So, another disastrous short session this time, thank God. But, you know, you work 10 days on a trot and you get a couple of hours, spare 5 or 6 hours to go fishing, and natural venues are not always kind to you, and got stitched up like a kipper today, but oh well, better than sitting in the house doing sod all. So, thanks for watching, troops. If you want to, please hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel grow, helps push the videos, doesn't cost you anything. You don't get annoyed with any notifications or anything like that. It's just, you'll know when my next video comes out. That's it. Thanks very much. Let's try and, I don't know where I'm going to go next time. I don't know. I'm off in a couple of days. I'll assess the situation with the rain. Might visit my tent swim and see how we get on there. Thanks for watching, troops.